guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hope you guys are all doing well. Something different, something new. Hopefully you guys go on to enjoy. If you do, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button here. Make sure, if you haven't already, go over to Josh, go to True Guna, hit the subscribe button. It should be, the ad should be in the title. Go over there, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, man, good to have you on, bro. Thank you for coming on. And this should be funny, man. This should be funny.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's good to be back, Liam, with you, man. You know, it's been obviously quite a while since, you know, we last did this show together when we obviously played each other in Champions League. And we all know how that ended out. You know, you guys came on top and beat us in the end. But yeah, no, it's good. You know, I think this show is going to be brilliant, man. I think it's a great idea. You know, just to sort of, as we were saying backstage, you know, I mean, sometimes we get sick of talking about our own club, so it's good to look at other clubs to see what other else is doing across Europe. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea, man, and thank you so much for having me on, bro.
Nah, no worries, no worries. Where do you want to start, mate?
I tell you what, man, I want to start with you, man, yeah, because I'll be honest, right? I obviously, like, I didn't watch the full game of your guys against Frankfurt, but you guys bowled it, mate. You bowled it. What happened, Liam, man? What actually happened against Frankfurt, bro? Like,
yeah,
literally. And I watched back the highlights, of course, and that Egyptian guy, man. What's his name? You know,
Manamusha.
That's him, bro. I swear down, that guy looked quality. But I was looking at some of the defending on that goal, man, was just like appalling from your point of view, you know. But yeah, like that's I think that's where we should start, bro. Like, what happened to you, man, in that game?
Yeah, man. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up, how you doing? Big up to you as well, mate. How you doing? Big up Zia, how you doing? But yeah, let's get into it. Oh, mate, I don't know, to be honest with you, because, you know, on one hand, you could say that the defenders helped with scoring goals because both of them got a goal each.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they did their job, it wouldn't have been 3-3. So I don't know. It seems like when you go against a Bayer Leverkusen, who are a tough game, you go against an Aston Villa, who are a tough game, we seem to have this certain shape where we can stop these oppositions. Obviously, the Leverkusen game was 1-1. Obviously, we did lose in the end to Aston Villa. Big up to them. And Unai Emery just gets the better of us every single time. But those, like I said, those ones, and even like Real Madrid, obviously, we lost in the end last season. Arsenal, for instance, when we play these big clubs, we seem to go into the game and actually turn up, kind of. You know, it's a certain shape. With these other teams, we're just utter dog shit. Like Zia said in the chat, it just is. It's like you would generally feel like it's an under-15s game going against a professional team, because it's schoolboy mistakes. It's so stupid. Mate. Oh, it just does my head in, because we've got some of the, you know, both our centre backs are internationals for their, you know, for their respective countries.
Yeah.
Man kind of obviously starts for France, and look how many young lads that they've got. You know, Saliba, obviously you all know a lot about him. You know, they've got so many good players, France. And the thing is, if you watch him for France, he's good. You watch him for Bayern, you say otherwise. You know, obviously I don't watch Kim Min-jae for Korea, but I heard that he's very good for them. And obviously in Napoli, he was very good also. So yeah. Utter dog shit, mate, to be quite honest. Harry Kane was crap. The only good one from yesterday was Olise.
Yeah, no, bro. I mean, Elise, he's quality, mate. Of course, we watched him in Premier League when he was at Palace, and he's a player that Arsenal fans, including myself, really wanted to sign, man. But I think that guy coming in, that sort of he's got that flair, he's got that unpredictability as well, man. You know, and he grab a game by the scruff of the neck, which I don't like. Many winners I see across Europe, right? I look at them, and half of them have, you know, all these flair, and, you know, they have the pace, but half of them, for me, have no end products. And I think that's a big thing in the final. When you get to the final third, you have an end product. I think Elise has shown that. He's shown it at Palace, and he's shown it at, you know, you guys. I think he's a very, very good player there. But I was just looking at, you know, the recent games. Of course, like, you had the whole managerial change with Company coming in out of nowhere, bro. In my opinion, I was thinking, I mean, the guy was at Burnley. And don't get me twisted, bro. Like, in the Championship, I know it's a completely different ball game. You know, when you move from Championship to Premier League, right? But the football he's playing with Burnley in Championship, they dominated that league there. So I was thinking, part of my mind, you know, with a better sort of structure at Bayern Munich, with higher standards that you guys have, with all due respect to a team like Burnley, with a lot more better players than you guys had, maybe he can go and thrive you guys this season. And obviously, I'll look to your results. Looking at, you know, I think you guys had a very good start, man. Very good start to the season. But it seems to be like these last couple of games, like the Leverkusen was obviously a draw. The Villa one, which I watched, and as you said, bro, like Emery, man, this guy is different against you guys. He did you with Villarreal. Now he's done you again with Villa. And you do with PSG. Oh, bro, nah. Emery owns Bayern, bro. I can't even lie. That guy.
Yeah, no, 100. It's annoying as well because so he beat us with PSG, right? And then over the years, we went on a long run of, I think, 45 games unbeaten in the group stage and now league phase. And then it was him that beat us again. So it was him that beat us, long run, him that beat us. It's like, bro, what the... Yeah.
Listen, like that Emery, by the way, is quality manager, right? Of course, he was at Arsenal. I know it didn't work out with him at us, but especially when it comes to him playing Europe, he plays, you know, he always has the same way of playing in terms of the same tactics, same formation. It always works. I mean, the guy's a king of Europa League anyway. He's won about 4 Europa Leagues as it is, right? With Sevilla, with Villarreal, you know, and he should have really won one of us. But in terms of Europe, that guy, you know, and he's won off games as well. I think he's so suited for when he always seems to get the better out of you guys. And he did, I thought, you know, in that game against, you know, Villa Park. It was a massive game for them, to be fair. You know, one of their first games back in Europe at home since many, many years. So, yeah, he's a quality manager. And I think, yeah, and obviously another draw, man. So it's kind of like you guys are hitting a bit of a rough patch, right, in terms of form.
Yeah, 1,000%, yeah. 1,000, bro. It's... Oh, so annoying. It's so annoying because we literally were ruining teams. Like before the Leverkusen game, the last 3 games that we played, and don't get it twisted, they weren't the best opposition, but we scored 20 goals in 3 games. And then we go against Leverkusen. Obviously, you know, that was a rough game in itself. It was always going to be a tough game. But we go against them, I believe. Let me have a look quickly. We had a ridiculous amount of shots. And actually, in the last couple of games, we had a ridiculous amount of shots and we just can't score. It's really, really annoying. And you'd think like a team like Bayern Munich that has a Harry Kane, obviously he's not to the level right this minute, but a Harry Kane, so on, you'd think that they would score more. You know, like that Leverkusen game, we had 18 shots, 3 on target. Mad. You know, it's mad. And then the Villa game, 17 shots, 7 on target. And then this game that we just played, 24 shots, 13 on target.
Madness, bro. I saw the game against, was it Dinamo in the Champions League? I was like, this is old Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich's coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was like holding, you scoring, you killed them, man. Like completely, no mercy against Zagreb, mate. I was like, you know what? And just looking at the way how you started the season, I know obviously like you're still top, and obviously I think you're still unbeaten, right? You've not obviously lost the game.
Yeah, no, we haven't lost in the league yet. No.
But obviously, like in terms of your recent games, it's not, you know, looking, you know, you read out the chances that you guys are creating there, but not getting the results on the line. And I think that could, you know, cost you later on if you're not careful. I mean, I know obviously Leverkusen, they've not hit the ground running, have they, as much as they would have liked, especially as they did last season. I think they've been dropping a few points here and there. I think it's actually, is it a Leipzig just behind you right now, ain't it?
Same points.
Same points, yeah. They're having a great start this season, and they've got some quality players. I think that Sesko there, who stayed on with them, he's looking, you know, very, very good. Watched him a bit in the Champions League, so I don't know, man. I mean, like Leverkusen, it's interesting. Like, what was it like when you played against them, man? Because obviously, last season you saw what happened, that 3-0 won it when they battered you. You know, what was it like this season? Have they like I know. I think they, mate. I think did they lose any players in the summer?
No,
definitely. No, they didn't.
No,
have they just declined then?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. if I'm being like 1,000% honest, the way I personally see it is they just cowered it down to us. They were scared to play versus us. They really, really were. Obviously they play a free back, which obviously then turns into a 5 when they're defending with their wing backs. So then obviously they had the 5, but then in front of them they then had Xhaka and Andrich. So then they had another 2 players in their box as well. So it was just mad, to be honest with you. And they were just going for that. I generally think they were going for obviously the win. But then when we got the goal, they were just, well, we had the draw. Let's just not lose, which I get and I understand. But at the same time, when you've done what you've already done against us, you know what I mean? Like you said, obviously it's horrible to relive it, but they did beat us in the league. You know what I mean? That you're not saying anything that's wrong, So yeah, it's really annoying, mate, to be honest with you. But yeah, they cowered it down to us. And loads and loads and loads of people in the community here, and I've seen on Twitter and everything, X, Twitter, whatever the bloody hell you want to call it. Football Twitter, we're going, oh yeah, we'll smash Burnley, and I'm like, no, we won't. I knew we wouldn't. I was hoping we would beat them, but I knew it wasn't going to be as easy as people going like that. Like, because number one, the manager has our number, and number two, Villa Park, first time in 40 years. They were up for it, man. Of course, they're going to be up for it. You know what I mean? They're normally up for it anyway, but then you add the stake of the Champions League. The fact that they've already beaten Bayern Munich in a final 1-0. Yeah. So it's, it's
that game had a bit of history about it, didn't it, as well, So that added to it as well, I thought. And as you said, Villa Park, I mean, we saw it last season with them. It's a fortress, man. It is a fortress going there. Oh, yeah. It's a very tough place. I mean, I think they beat us there last season. I mean, they beat us both home and away, but I think they beat City there as well. They got a good result against Liverpool there as well. So, when it comes to Villa Park and Emery and setting up against these big sort of sides, he knows what he's doing at the end of the day. And I think, he's done that again against you guys, not for the first time, as we mentioned, with Villarreal. I think that was the most, because you look what he was like doing at Villarreal, yeah. You look at the team that he had at Villarreal, like half of them was Spurs rejects. He had Jan Foyth at right back. He had Coquelin, ex-Arsenal, in the midfield, right? He had Raul Abio, who was about 30, 38. Yeah. Like the guy was dealing with these types of players, and he still won on that amazing Champions League run. I know he should have really got to the final because he went 2-0 against Liverpool in the second leg, and I thought, oh my god, they're going to get to the final, but then he ended up capitulating. But yeah, man, like I think that was a big one with you and Emery, like that Villarreal game in particular. I mean, look, you look at him in Villa now, and Villa, he's got, I think, a lot more players, a lot more better players to deal with. I think Villa are definitely a much better side than Villarreal, in my opinion. But it's still, man, like that Emery, man. I mean, the guy can pull off a masterclass, man. And coming from me as well, who's obviously Arsenal fan, like the guy got hounded out of Arsenal big time, bro. Like nobody wanted the guy. He completely lost his dressing room, and I still think he deserved a little bit of time. Personally, I just feel, what if he got given the money that Arteta was given? What if he got his own players? Yeah, we may have seen him thrive at Arsenal like he's in at Villa. But yeah, quality manager there, and I think overall, you got to give it to them against you guys, man. Like, 100%. They got the win, and I think they deserved it. But obviously, this whole Champions League format, man, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get in the top 8, because obviously I know both of us want to be there, but there's going to be other teams, fighting for that, and I don't want to be playing, these last 30. Is it like these playoffs mid-February? We've already got enough games as it is, just to qualify for the last 16. Like, so I think it's important that you win majority of your games, man. Like, that defeat, I don't think it'll cost you, because I don't know who else. I don't know if you've got any other like big games coming up.
Yeah, we've got massive games coming up, lad. We've got, let me quickly show you. Not show you, say it. So we've got Stuttgart in the next game, which is a difficult game because they come second in the league last season when we come third. Yeah. So they're a very good team. Obviously, they have lost Guesi, who is now
at Dortmund. Yeah.
And then after that, we got Barcelona. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
big game that. Hansi Flick against his former club as well, by the way. Jeez. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is the Champions League. Like, obviously for us, we played against PSG. We got a fantastic win.
Yeah.
We played Atalanta, and that was poor. We drew 0-0 of them. It's kind of like, I mean, we got Inter away at San Siro. That will be the toughest out of any game that we've got coming up. But even some of that going away from home to these places, like Sporting Lisbon, for example, for Arsenal, that's a tough task because our away form in Europe, I think I touched on it when I came on your channel last time, like when I was fearing about coming to Allianz Arena, because Arsenal's away form is dreadful in Europe. So like even these games against Sporting and Girona, if we don't win them, we could be in a very bad position. You know, we cannot be going in the top 8 and we're going to have to be fighting for these qualifiers. And even, I looked at Real Madrid, they lost to Lyon as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if like a big elite side like a Barca maybe not make it as well. And then we may be in a position to play like a Barca in the qualifiers and kind of make the last 16 we get knocked out. You know, so yeah, it's
100%, mate. It's mad. It really, really is mad. Smash up the likes, people, if you haven't already. Much greatly appreciated. And also, if you haven't subscribed here on the Bayern View, please do. And obviously, go over to True Gooner, Josh.
Thank you, man.
And hit the subscribe button over there. Nearly at 10k now, man. That's mad.
Yeah, road 10k,
bonkers,
man. Thank you.
That's bonkers. But yeah, we will go to Arsenal in just a sec. Let's just see what the chat's saying. Purple patch ran off. Yeah, 1000%, mate. 1000%. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I think that's. Have you all talked about the March game? What game have we got on in March? Am I being stupid? I don't know. I know that obviously our ladies are going against yours next.
Yeah, Wednesday night. Yeah, in Champions, the group stages, ain't it? Champions League.
Yeah. So at least they're keeping the women's football the same.
Mate, you'll probably batter us, mate. half the Arsenal fans want them our manager sacked, mate. He's not. He's lost the plot at this rate. He really has. But we'll see, mate. We'll see what happens on Wednesday with the women's, man.
Yeah, 100, bro. Arsenal versus last season in March. Yeah. We did we did do that, Lucas. We did we collaborated on both channels. But yeah, we'll go to Arsenal now. Obviously, you beat Southampton 3-1. Go ahead, man. You're the Arsenal fan.
Yeah, listen, bro. It was look, a great result. Great result for Arsenal. You know, 3-1 win. But in terms of performance-wise, it's kind of like what you said with Bayern Munich. Like when we come and play these, with all due respect, these like lower sides that on paper you look, oh yeah, we should be battering them. We tend to struggle, man. Like it was the same story against Leicester a few weeks ago. Like we beat Leicester 4-2. We was 2-0 up at half time. We dominated the game. Dominated the first half, and just like that, they got a set piece. They got a goal back, and just like that, out of nowhere, it's 2-2. And we had to just get a late winner and kill the game off towards the end. And it was similar to Southampton. I mean, Southampton literally that first half, they kind of played the way how a Burnley did, right? When they came to the Premier League, is like they're trying to the manager wants them to play out from the back. They want to play this sort of attractive style of football, trying to look good and impress in Premier League, but it's not going to work with them. I think they're going to go straight back down playing like that.
Oh yeah.
So they try to do that, you know, against us. And you know, the issue with Arsenal was in that first half was it was awful in the final third. The end product was awful. Arteta completely decided to rotate the team around. He put Partey right back again, not for the first time, but yeah, he put Partey at right back. Man's thinking he's like the next Joshua Kimmich, yeah. Man can play midfield and right back settings, but yeah, he put him right back. He put Havertz was doing so well centre forward. He decided to bring him back into the midfield where we know he's inconsistent there anyway. And he put Jesus just to try and give him a run out. He was awful, by the way, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, he completely changed the team around. I mean, he started a new signing, Raheem Sterling as well, on the left-hand side. He dropped Martinelli on the bench. And basically, I mean, that first half, it was appalling, 0-0. And then we got to 60th minute and they scored out of nowhere. literally 1-0 out of nowhere. It was a long ball over the top. I think Cameron Archer scored. He's a good player, man, from Villa. Our defenders were sleeping. Great finish from him, and just like that, we found ourselves 1-0 down at the Emirates to Southampton. With all due respect to them, so once again, it was one of those games where we had to get back into it, and I think the subs changed. He brought on Martinelli, he brought on Mika Marino, he brought on Trossard as well, and that changed the game. That they came on, gave us so much more energy. Looked like they actually gave a wanted to be there, and we got back into the game. Saka was absolutely superb. Great. I mean that second goal, unbelievable cross. It reminded me of like when we had Özil. That type of player, that type of cross that you put in there, put on the plate for Martinelli to get us back into it. And I mean, Havertz again, man. This guy's proper proved me wrong, Leon, man. I'm telling you, this brother has properly proved me wrong. I'm telling you, we signed the guy for 65 million, and I people who watched my channel like years ago when I did the transfer news, I was ranting and everything. I was ripping into this Edu. I was saying, what do you think you were doing signing 65 million on Kai Havertz, guy I've seen who's been inconsistent at Chelsea, for the past 3 seasons. But this season and towards the end of last season, the guy's completely changed. Like his attitude, even in the small sort of the small aspects I pick up. Like we played against Man City. The guy showed like that aggression. Like, yeah, he's a bit of a shithouse. Like we know it, but I want that in the team, man. A bit of aggression, a bit of a player who can actually fight for the badge, and his attitude, like he actually wants to be there. And I think that affects his performance in a good way as well, because the guy is getting involved. He's scoring goals. His overall performance, his, work rate is unbelievable now as well. He actually, is looking like the signing who was probably at Leverkusen in his first couple of seasons, and what we see a little bit when he plays for Germany at the end of the day. So he's looking a completely different player to what we saw at Chelsea for sure. It's all about if he can keep it up. But yeah, honestly, bro, like this Arsenal, they give you a heart attack supporting them at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, bro, we always want to leave things to the last minute as well. And it's just against these small sides, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know if it's complacency. But it's against these types of sides who you expect to win, and then you sort of just almost bottle it. And we did it last season against, I think, Luton. Luton away from home. We was like 3-2 down. We had to wait for Declan Rice to win us the game away at Luton. It's like these types of games, you've got to have the mentality and you've got to win these games as well. So it's very similar to what you were saying, really, man. But yeah, very good result, and that's what it matters in this rate, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I didn't watch the game, so I can't say too much on it. But I did on you saying Kai Havertz. Obviously, you watch him and you have a different opinion on him because he's your player. I still think he's absolute ass, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure the Gremlins will come after me for saying that. But who cares? Yeah, watching him for Germany. Obviously, I watch Germany because of most of the Bayern players obviously play for them. Musiala puts it on a plate for him about 10 times a game, and he just puts it wide every single time. So, but hey, man, if he's doing good for you, then that's obviously good for your club, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just glad you Chelsea, like the Premier League, keep him in the league, because I don't want him. I know full well that Thomas Tuchel, when he was here, he wanted him, and I'm like, no. We don't need him. No, I don't care about his nationality or whatever. He can stay over in England. But yeah, no. One thing I did want to speak about, obviously, Champions League. What do you make? Obviously, we mentioned it a little bit already, but what do you make of this whole new league format? Because I'm not a massive fan of it.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like, it's kind of like one of those ones. If it's not broken, then why try and change it? One of those ones, really, because the group stages I love, to be honest. Playing 6 games, drawing these teams home and away, yeah, and then finishing top 2, even like the third place going down to Europa League. I thought, all right, fair enough. Look, you get knocked out and you go into another competition, but still, I didn't mind the concept of that, to be honest. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, like it's one of those ones, man. Really, like having the group stages there, it was going perfectly fine. So why
Yeah,
try and change it into the day? But I think the reason is because more games, more money, of course, for UEFA. If we're being real with it, and at the end of the day, I mean, I think it's going to take a lot to get used to because it's I look at it personally like it's pretty much the concept of a Super League in the way how they've
basically, yeah.
basically in the way how they've structured it. To be honest with it, you play all these different. I mean, you can play anyone can play anyone. You're going to play more games. It's not even like you play them home and away. It's just you play one at home, different teams home and away. So one stage, as for us, as I said, like we were Inter away, and then it was PSG was playing at home. So these are the type of games. So yeah, I guess like in that sense, I'm with it in terms of like you want to be playing the best of the best. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about in terms of Champions League. But at the same time, it's going to be more fixture congestion. These games are going to not finish until January. Like, and that's the group stage is done. And as I said earlier, if we don't get the top 8, we have to play an extra 2 more games against another opponent in February, and it's just going to add and add and add. So yeah, of course, like teams need to have these good squads for these types of competitions as well, especially if you're if you're a league club and you want to take it seriously and go and win the whole thing. To be honest, so yeah, listen, it's I think it's what we're gonna have to get used to. And I don't see them. I think this is what they go with now in terms of years and years, because we know we had that whole talk about the actual Super League being the thing eventually. So I think this is a very similar concept to it, and they've done it for the whole, not just Champions League, but they've done it for Europa and I think Conference League as well. So I think it's definitely something that we're going to get used to. But yeah, man, it's just like I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling that at the moment, but I mean, we'll see. Like maybe we'll grow into it, when we have it implemented in a few seasons. But yeah, I think it's going to take a lot to get used to, man, personally.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It sucks, isn't it? Really. But yeah, you've got Shakhtar Donetsk next, I believe.
Yeah.
Then obviously Inter, Sporting, Monaco, Dynamo Zagreb. I am actually very interested in that Zagreb game, just to see if because obviously people will like to shit on Arsenal, but they do have a good squad. Let's see if you guys can do what we did. Obviously, it's not competition, but I want to see, are they that bad, or did Bayern actually have a good game? Does that make any sense? Like, because we smashed them 9-2. If you guys go and smash them 6-1 or 6-0 or something, then it's like, yeah, okay, they're just crap. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, those games you've got, Inter away is going to be a hard game. That's a difficult game. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys lose that one. To be honest.
Yeah.
They're solid side, aren't they?
So yeah, bros. No, I'm with you in terms of like that going away San Siro. Like we got good history there. The last time we played them, we battered them 5-1. And that was at San Siro, but that was years and years ago, man. You're talking years ago. But as I just mentioned, like going to San Siro away from home with Arsenal, nah, bro. It's gonna be a long night, I'm telling you, because not just like the away form and the hostile atmosphere, but it's Inter Milan, like into the day. They're the Italian champions for a reason. I think they've got a very, very good manager in Inzaghi. Has a very, very well organized, very well structured. He plays a certain way. Which people may criticize, but it's the way how he plays at the day, and it works for him, and it worked for him last season. I think all they're missing to do is getting that Champions League over the line with him, because I think once he wins the Champions League, bro, he's up there as one of the top managers in the world if he can get that Champions League over the line. And he's came close, like he got to the final, a few years ago against City, but not just like the manager, the players they have there, the quality they have, when he's on it, and I mean when he's on it because he's not been on it this season, but when Latoro's on it, Martinez up front, he's unstoppable in the day. It's the same with Thuram. Thuram's again slowly finding his feet. He scored a hat-trick in our last game. So those two's up front, like that will be the biggest test for a Saliba now and a Gabriel. Yeah, is getting those two out the game, because these are two quality attackers there as well. But it's not just that. I mean, the midfield, you got Brella in the midfield who will, control a game like it's nothing. Ends of the day, you can grab a game dictator game. You know, he's quality in the midfield, so creative. Everything about him is just class. I think he's absolutely quality, Barella. You know, and then you got some set piece, more technical players like Chanaloglu in there. But their win backs for me is what frightens me as well. DiMarco left wing back. The guy again, he's absolutely superb. I rate him very highly. Dumfries, whoever it will be on the right hand side for them as well. And then just like their defense as well, like Bastoni, they got in there, Cherby, like that game. Even as an Arsenal fan, I'm coming in there when it is in, I think next month, I think November we play them or something. Yeah, November. I'm coming into that game, I'm thinking, I want to have confidence in my team. I'm going to back the team. I'm going to get behind us, but I'll be very surprised if we beat this Inter Milan side away at San Siro, man. So that's definitely, you know, the toughest one there for sure, bro. Going away to there.
Definitely. No, you're 100% right on that. Like Shakhtar Donetsk, it probably will be a difficult game, but you realistically should get over the line in that one. Obviously, the Inter one we've spoken about, that's going to be a hard one. Sporting, again, similar to Shakhtar Donetsk, maybe a little bit better than them. Again, probably a tough game, especially away. But again, you should, and it should, realistically, Bayern should have beaten Frankfurt. But yeah, like Sporting, same with Monaco, same with Dynamo. Well, actually, not same with Dynamo Zagreb. We spoke about that one. Girona, like those three games as a whole, that's obviously going to be interesting to see. And like Zia said, you will be forced to have a go at them as well. You know, they're not going to. If you go in to sit back, they will just nick a goal and then they'll sit back and then you will have to, you know. And it's not like you've got terrible players either. You know what I mean? And Serbi did lock off Haaland as well.
He did.
So
he did. You know, that's like, I mean, look how they played against Man City. You know, like, and I know we did it in the Premier League and we should have beat Man City at Etihad. You know, we did so well. First half was a masterclass, 2-1 up. And the second half, Trossard red card, changed the game completely. They get a last minute goal. So yeah, I know we did the same, and I think I'm confident, as I said, that we can beat these types of teams. And this Champions League, like, this is where you've got to make a statement, man. Especially for a team like Arsenal, because obviously we need to win it. Yeah, it's just, like, you, man, as a Bayern fan, you know, you Bayern fans, you've had that experience and you've had that joy of winning the Champions Leagues, you know, many Champions Leagues. But for Arsenal, it's like, nah, we've never had that, you know, and that's the thing that we get from rival fans is, where's your European Cup, where's this and that?
Yeah, of course.
And we need to end it, man, you know, because the last time we got final, 2006 against Barca, it all went wrong. We lost 2-1, but, you know, like, this is where we have to make statements in the Champions League. And I think the PSG game was the start of it for this season, because PSG, for me, I know they're not the same PSG side, you know, that they once were. Yeah, but I think they got a decent manager in Enrique there. And ultimately it's PSG, you know, they dominate the league every single season. Yeah, they may not have the mentality when it comes to Champions League, but it's still a statement to go to the Emirates and me, and to beat a team like PSG, and you have to do that. If we go to Inter at San Siro and you get the win, that's a massive statement. Away at home playing Inter at San Siro, and you go and that's a big statement to the rest of Europe. And ultimately, if we can get into the top 8 as well and automatically qualify, we go through, we'd be like, all right, at least we got, you know, automatic qualification. As I said, I don't be playing these playoffs, 2-legged playoffs in you know, February, because it's just, we'll probably end up winning the playoffs and we can't even get last 16, not in Arsenal. So yeah, it's time. Like, I just think what the difference is for me is, like, Arsenal in the Champions League is the mentality. You know, I don't think we've ever had that sort of mentality of going all the way and, you know, winning the whole thing at the end of the day. Yeah, we came close in a few years ago, but it's just like many factors for me. And I know, like, obviously it was our first season back last season, you know, and we came up against you guys. You guys beat us, fair enough, and all this, yeah. But slowly but surely now, with the money that we spent is a lot of money, and, you know, we have to go now and start delivering in the Champions League, because we've never done it in the history of Arsenal. So
yeah, they do say, though, the first is always the hardest to win. You know,
they do, yeah.
G got against the final against us.
Yes.
You know, they bottled that, and every single time they, you know, look at City. Look how many times City got close. Obviously, they didn't get in the final that many times, but they got close, and then they got knocked out against, like, I believe it was Marseille at one point, you know, and obviously they've had the clashes with Real Madrid, so on and so forth. So yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Big up, Oman, man. How you doing? Big up to you as always, bro. Yeah, but it's an interesting one, bro. It's an interesting one. Oh, Lyon. Thank you very much, Lucas. That's who I meant. Lyon, yeah. And sticking on the Champions League, obviously Bayern have got hard games in itself. You know, we've got Barcelona next in the Champions League, which again is going to be an interesting one. And I generally we'll talk about it more in depth in a minute, but because I want to talk about the managers, both of our managers. But I feel like that will be the final nail in the coffin. If we lose to Barcelona, that I'll be company out, I think. But we'll talk more in a minute about that. But yeah, no, on our fixtures, Barcelona, obviously they're doing really, really well with Flick, which I hate to see because I hate Barcelona. And the fact that they've got our manager as well is a piss take. Benfica, you know, realistically that should be an easy game, but it won't be because they're just a good team, good solid side that know how to.
Yeah, bro, they battered Atletico. Did you see that 4-0?
Yeah. Could you imagine that if they do that to us as well?
Oh my
wow, man! And it will be at home as well, and it will already be at home. So yeah, and then we've got PSG again, similar to what you guys did. I want to see if we can do that to them because they do have a good team, a lot of young lads in that team, and they do have a very, very good manager. And then we've got Shakhtar Donetsk away, Feyenoord away, and then we've got, is it Slovan Brasla, or how do you say that?
The Slovakian team,
yeah, in our last game. So realistically, you would say that, you know, Barcelona one can go either way. We should beat Benfica. We should beat PSG. Again, that could go either way. Shakhtar Donetsk, Feyenoord, and that's Slovan team. We should be beating them, but it is a should. Obviously in football anything can happen, of course. So but yeah, like Zia said, Josh's channel is there. Go and subscribe.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
It is actually in the title, by the way, as well. So you don't necessarily have to click that link, but you can if you want to. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting for both of our teams in the Champions League. Obviously, in our respective leagues, we're still both doing well. Obviously, Premier League, you guys have got Man City to tend with, which. But we don't need to speak about that. We know all about them, both of us. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, we'll talk about our managers. I may as well, because I've already mentioned it. I may as well just go first. Company, again, similar to you said earlier. You know, obviously, Burnley's one thing. Bayern Munich are a whole different ballgame. Because you know we're a football giant, and Burnley aren't. You know, respectful to Burnley, they. For the longest time were known for park their bus and try and get a point, you know, long ball over the top, get a goal and defend for their lives, you know.
Exactly that.
Sean Dyche FC, you know, with his
Brexit, mate.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, to come straight to Bayern Munich is a tough pill, I would say, to be honest with you, and a tough you know, results business at the end of the day. But like Bayern Munich, Burnley, they're not even in the same stratosphere. So, yeah, but at the same time, like you said earlier, you know, what he did in the championship with them, obviously it's championships like dog eat dog. It really, really is. If you haven't watched the championship, I don't watch it week in, week out, obviously, because Bayern aren't in it, but I have watched certain games and you can win 1 minute, you lose in the next. It's like, what's going on? Especially with the playoffs as well. Because if you get third in that league, if I'm right by saying, you have to go in the playoff. If it gets third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could get sixth in that league and go to the Premier League.
You can,
which is mad when you think about that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, coming to Bayern Munich, obviously he's got, you know, Harry Kane. He's got Jamal Musiala. Obviously we picked up Michael Olise. You know, Kimmich, so on and so forth. We've got a very good squad. So, you know, we were flying straight away. And I know that it's obviously not been that long. But for me personally, just the spider webs, you know, they're already there. They really are, because you can see straight away that he is favouring player Joshua Kimmich in midfield when he we don't have a right back at this moment in time. Sancho Bowie is injured. and so is Stanisic. So there are 2 right backs and they're injured, right? So the only one you actually would think would be Joshua Kimmich, but he's playing him in the midfield with Pavlovic, and then he's playing Konrad Laimer at right back, or Rafael Guerrero, who is known to be a left back.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is this thing that he's doing with where they switch. One goes into the midfield and Kimmich goes right back at times.
Yeah.
But obviously Kimmich is mainly in the midfield. So we got Paulinho, man. I'm sure. I want to ask you, would you have taken Paulinho at Arsenal?
For me, all day long, man. I don't know how he's been doing with you guys, but I watched him at Fulham. That guy was different class, man.
See,
absolute quality.
That is literally what I was expecting you to say, because that's exactly how I feel. And he's just holding the bench. He may as well be our water boy.
What?
Yeah, company's not playing him, mate. I think he's played 130 minutes of football for Bayern Munich, every single game on the bench. That's my point, you know. So that's why it's annoying me, and that's why I have said that, you know, if it comes to getting smashed by Barcelona, I can't, like, if you go head to head for actually, you know what? I'm going to drag it up quickly. Bayern versus Barcelona head to head, we smashed them every time. I'm pretty sure. You know, I'm not even trying to talk shit. Like, generally, let me find it. No, that's not the one I want. I want this one. So Barcelona have 2 wins.
Yeah.
There's 1 draw, and Bayern have 10 wins against Barcelona.
You own them, man. You own them.
Literally, like 13 goals they've scored against us. We've scored 33 against them.
Oh.
You know, so if we get smashed by Barcelona, don't get it twisted. Barcelona are a good team. You know, I like to shit on them. They've got a good manager. They've got some superstars in that. You know, Lewandowski's firing on all cylinders, which I absolutely despise. But you know, that will be a hard pill to swallow. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it's not looking good right now, to be honest with you. But we've got some players coming back. Haruki Ito, he's a centre back who can play left back. He seems to be coming back. Sancho Bowie seems to be coming back. But while we're talking about Bayern for now, 2020 Lewandowski is back. If you don't know, this guy's a Barca fan. So it's coming straight to my neck if we lose. But yeah, no, there's certain players that are out. I'm going to do a stream later on tonight about it, but Harry Kane is one of the main ones. What's it say? Official Harry Kane medical update. The examination by the doctors of the English national team has shown that Harry Kane does not have a structural injury. The striker will therefore remain in the national team for the upcoming game. Oh, for fuck's sake. But there's something with it. He obviously got hurt in the Leverkusen games. Not games. And then ever since just hasn't looked right. So
is it not mind games to keep him out of the national break? Do you think? Because that's what we do with Havertz, man. Havertz, apparently he's injured, but you know we've kept him out from Germany because we don't want him risking. Because I mean, you look what we did with Odegaard. Like Odegaard he's out for weeks because he got injured in the national break. So could it be like that?
Maybe, but at the same time, like I don't know. To be honest with you, it's annoying because I feel like Harry Kane is his worst enemy, because realistically, he's an ultimate professional, so he will play every single game if he can. Yeah. But realistically, the last 2 games he should have sat out. You know. He really should have, because he come off injured against Frankfurt, and he was holding his ankle again, which is where he got stamped on. So
who do you play instead of him, by the way? If he's
Matthias Tau, the young striker that we've got.
Is he good?
He is good, but he hasn't, obviously, because of Harry Kane, you know, how good Harry Kane's been, he hasn't been getting minutes. So he come on and he is as rusty as a bloody old bike. May as well not have any wheels on him, mate, to be honest. So hopefully he does go on to play. But I actually think he's injured as well, actually, saying that now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it says here, Matthias Tau sustained a slight shoulder injury against Frankfurt. He will not travel to the under-21s national team and is expected to be out for 2 weeks. So yeah, shit's hitting the fan right now at Bayern.
Wow.
So I feel like we're probably going to be playing either Serge Gnabry or Thomas Muller up front.
Yeah.
Which obviously isn't Harry Kane. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's an annoying one, to be honest with you. But yeah, really, company out. If he loses to your shit team, yeah.
That's the standards, though. That's the
Yeah.
standards that you might have. Like look at it. Half majority of the seasons, like managers not delivering at Bayern Munich. They're gone at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
look, it's worked for you because you've been successful like that. You've ended up doing winning European titles, but dominating your league. Obviously, I know what happened last season with Leverkusen for the first time, but that's worth you. That's sort of having that level of standards in your league, and manager not delivering. You're sacked, and I think it will be a very similar situation to company. Like, he's not going to be given what we give Arteta, for example, in terms of all 4 years and 5-year phases and process. And you don't see that at Bayern Munich whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, I will not blame you, bro, if you company out.
What do you think of your manager, though?
You know what it is, yeah. This one for me is it's a tough one with this guy, man, because you know what, right? The guy, again, like by the way, he signed a new contract, so he ain't going anywhere. He's here for another 3 years because these owners, they've backed him completely. He's been backed more than any other Arsenal manager. He spent about 700 million, even more than that now. The summer just gone. Even when we was in the worst, he had us in 15th at one point. He had an awful start. I mean, actually, no, he won us the FA Cup, right? In his first season, first 6 months. And after that, completely, I mean, we was in 15th at one stage. We was losing week in, week out. We was like a proper, what we call Man United, banner club now. We were like them, and how they're feeling with Ten Hag. But slowly but surely, obviously, he's been given the money. He's been getting his own players now. And I give him big credit where credit's due because he has got us back up there competing, which we had to be. Of course, we're Arsenal Football Club. We should be competing for everything. But it's getting to a stage where I'm confident we will be successful under him. But it's getting to a stage where he needs to start delivering Arsenal trophies because he's gone without 4 years without the FA Cup. And it's like, if you can't win the Premier League, and this is what Arsenal fans make the excuse of, right? Oh, because Pep Guardiola's in the Premier League and all this. If you can't, okay, like, and you've seen how close with Kane, like last season, bro, we had the best defense in the Premier League. We was unbeaten against all the big 6 teams, right? We had the highest goal tally we had since the Invincibles. We had the highest wins since the Invincibles, and we still managed to finish short and lose second place in Man City, right? But if you can't win the Premier League, you've got to go and win at least something at the end of the season, and that what frustrates me the most with this manager is when it comes to these FA Cup matches, for example, when it comes to even the League Cup matches, you look at the recent years under Arteta in the League Cup and FA Cup. Okay. We have not made higher than the 5th round in neither of them. Yeah, literally year in, year out, it's the same story of getting knocked out in the 3rd round. And listen, people would say, "Oh, why do you want to win the Carabao Cup? It's only a Carabao Cup." I get it, yeah, it's a League Cup, but at the end of the day, I'd rather that than nothing. It's a trophy at the end of the day, and that ultimately gives you that boost to go on and win much, much more at the end of the day. And it also, as a manager, boosts yourself up as sort of that manager who wins the trophies, for example, because we ain't won a Premier League title in 20 odd years now, right? It's been a long title drought. I always mention about the Champions League. We never won it in the history, right? And the last time we actually won a trophy was 4 or 5 years ago, 4 or 5 seasons ago. For a club of Arsenal Football Club, we're the 3rd biggest club in England. It's unacceptable to be going on these long trophy droughts like this. We have to start compete. We have to start winning now at the end of the day. So, listen, like I think every single season you can see improvement, which is good to see. I mean, you look how good our defensive now, and he's added to the defense. We brought in Calaflori. Timber's been like a new signing since he's came back. As I said, I think the midfield of signing Marino is a smart signing. We already signed Rice. We know about that. And obviously, Havertz is now doing bits up front for us. We've got Saka, Martinelli, winners there. I think we've got a much better squad than we had a few years ago, right? But at the end of the day now, Arteta, he's had the money. There's no more excuses. He has to start delivering. We have to stop winning trophies in the day. So I think, as I said, I give him credit where credit's due for getting us back up there. And I believe in the guy. I think he can get us in terms of winning these trophies, but he needs to show it now. He needs to prove to it, because the issue is now, like, these owners have given him three more years at the end of the day. So the only way this guy will ever sort of lose his place at Arsenal is if we fall below the top four. That's what the issue. That's what the mentality of Arsenal and the mentality of owners at the end of the day. So yeah, man.
It's how, where are you sitting on the manager? Because I know that a lot of people are Arteta out and a lot of people are on the fence and so on. Where do you sit with it personally?
For me, yeah, I'm sort of on the fence with it, with him at the moment, because at the end of the day, I know, my team, like, I think he's shown good signs, as I said, in the past couple of seasons, that he's getting there. But it comes to a stage where you have to sit here and say, when you actually going to deliver us some trophies in the day, because we know it's unacceptable for Arsenal to go without a trophy. So for me personally, as a fan, this season he needs to win something. Otherwise, well, he won't get sacked because the owners back him. But otherwise, I ain't gonna be sitting here saying, right, yeah, is this guy really the guy to get us over the line? Because maybe he's not. Maybe he's a guy. He's done all he can. Like, I've seen so many managers do that. I swear, with Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool, man. The guy got them to second place, right? They were so close to winning the Premier League, and then last day he bought the league title. They got Klopp in, yeah, and Klopp did his thing and won them trophies again. So maybe he has done all he can at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to think like this because he's Arsenal manager. I want to get behind him, but it's just the truth at the end of the day. Like, he has to deliver trophies. You cannot tell Arsenal fans cannot tell me otherwise. That's the aim for Arsenal Football Club, is to win trophies. So he's got to be doing that at the end of the day. And if he doesn't, then we have to hold some accountability.
Yeah, no, 100. I do feel, I wouldn't say necessarily bad for Arsenal as a whole. To be honest, obviously the reason we're football rivals, the reason the show is called whatever it is, because we're rivals,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I do feel bad for, like, you, because you're, from what I can see, obviously we've only done a couple of shows and messages and so on, but you're a good lad, so you want to obviously see your friends, be happy, but at the same time, you know what I mean, Arsenal, they just bottle everything. You know what I mean? You could say it yourself,
I agree, yeah.
I sound like a dickhead saying that, but it's true. You know what I mean?
Bro.
So surely if you bottle 3 leagues in a row, like,
it's embarrassing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you can't like dress it up like, because Pep Guardiola's at Man City and all this. As I said, win something. Just win. If you can't win the Premier League, go for the other trophies. At least you actually come out at the end of the season saying, look at me, I won something. Yeah, for me, if a manager wins something, he gets another season. Yeah, because he's actually gone and been successful. That's what I'm saying in terms of, like, Arsenal's point of view. Because, like, it's just like that's what defines you as a club at the end of the day, like, winning these major honours. Like, maybe if you're not, and with all due respect to these, like, lower teams, yeah. But for a club like Bayern Munich, for example, yeah, you guys demand success, you guys demand trophies, and you've done that for many, many, many years. And obviously, when it was, you guys won nothing last season, did it? That was the first year in
trophyless.
Yeah, exactly. You went trophyless, and look what happened. You guys took accountability. Yeah, and I know you got in company, which is a very interesting appointment at the time, because what we saw him do at Burnley is somebody's finessed his way into the Bayern job. But if he ain't delivering, yeah, no matter how long he's been in the job, the guy's name be gone. And it's the same, not just with you guys, but with, like, Madrid's. They're ruthless of it in terms of their managers, right? And I've already seen all of that. They lost to Lyon. I've seen half of them want Ancelotti out. Look at what the guy's done with Real Madrid, man. Like, the Champions League he's won, the success he's done at Real Madrid, that's Ancelotti we're talking about, people, right? And I've already seen a few of them saying, nah, get him out. But that's the thing, like, Madrid do it. Like, they're ruthless in terms of, sacking their managers. If the manager's not delivering, you're gone. But look at what they have it to back it up with. Like, they have the trophies, they have the success to back it up with. And it's the same with you guys as well. So I don't want it, obviously, like, I want Arteta to obviously deliver with Arsenal. Of course I do. And I get behind him because he's, our manager. But it comes to a certain point, and this is what Arsenal fans need to realise as well as this year's go along. Because if we don't win anything, bro, Real Madrid will come calling for Saliba. Yeah,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
already been a few rumors about that, about Saliba to Real Madrid and all this. Just quiet at the moment, but if we get to the end of the season, and I've seen it so many times at Arsenal before, Alexis, Van Persie, you know, Ozil, like many of our top players that we had over the recent years, right? They go and leave and they go and win big things. Yeah, Van Persie went. We had him up front. He left. He went to Man United. He won the Premier League. I've seen it on the countless times with Arsenal players, right? And it will be the same thing with Saliba. He'll go to Real Madrid, win major honours because he didn't do it in time at Arsenal. You know, these players, Saka. I mean, look, Saka's been here since the academy. Maybe not, but someone like Saliba, for example, the guy is one of the best centre backs in Europe at the moment, and he has been. Like, these clubs will come calling for him, and they will be hard to turn down because we are in the same thing of, oh, let's just get second place every single season. No, we have to win.
Yeah. No, you need to show your players, don't you, that you're actually the real deal. I feel like that's why Man City have kept so many of their players, because it's like, we are winning Premier Leagues, we are winning FA Cups, we have won the Champions League, and this is why they're keeping the likes of De Bruyne and so on, even though I think he's finished now, but you know what I mean. They're keeping these solid players. Zia asked, do you think the current squad that you have is enough to win the Premier League?
Good question, man. I think we're still one or two players short. I still think getting another striker in for me. If we can get a Victor Gyökeres, if we could do it in a January window, just someone there to give a bit of competition with Havertz, I think will be there, man, in terms of that type of striker. So yeah, for me, getting a Gyökeres in, I'm loving looking at John Durant from Villa. That even like Villa, I mean, if they ain't got Watkins via in, look who they got on the bench. The man comes off the bench. The guy's looking very good for them. And I know it's early days, don't want to hype him up too much, but
he just signed someone like him. As well.
He has, hasn't he? I saw that today as well. Yeah, he just signed a new contract, which is brilliant for them because he's a good player. But I wouldn't mind someone like him. But yeah, it most likely be someone like Gyökeres from Sporting if we do go and sign a striker, ideally in January. And for me, bin off Jesus. Just get rid of him at this rate. It's done. The guy's finished. Get money for him. Get a replacement in. Get Gyökeres in. I say, in the future as well, because obviously we've got Sterling at the moment. He'll go back to Chelsea. This is a loan deal, so we're going to need like a top winner there. I've always wanted Mohamed Kudus, from West Ham. That guy for me, we should have gone when he was at Ajax. We could have gone for 30 million, but that guy, the reason why I want him because I think he will fit so well in what we're in what Arteta does, and the amount of positions a guy can play. He can play on the right, can play on the left, can play centre forward. He did it with Ajax in Champions League. Can play number 10, can play number 8 as well. I think he did it with Ghana a few times. So Mohamed Kudus for me, his versatility, just overall as a player, the guy's just fucking quality. So I'd love him to come in just to give you that sort of star player in there. Because honestly, bro, like, we've not had a proper, in terms of an out-and-out striker, the last striker we had was Aubameyang. Like proper clinical goal scorer was Aubameyang, right? And I know it ended bad with him, but he was unbelievable in his first couple of seasons. Havertz is doing really well there. Whether or not he can get to that level remains to be seen, right? I still think you need someone else there. And I just feel like for Arsenal, we need a star player. We've not had a proper world-class player. Like, people do use all this world-class analogy for Saka, yeah. I don't think I don't think he's there yet in terms of getting to that level. Like, the last world-class player Arsenal had, in my opinion, was Alexis Sanchez, right? Alexis Sanchez, back in 2017, his last, or 2018, his last season, from them to 2014, he was a world-class player. We've not had a player like that. Saka could get there, and he's on that level to get there. He's had a fantastic start to the season. He's Saka, quality. But I don't think we've had a player like Alexis Sanchez, that sort of star player, that world-class player to look at in terms of Arsenal. We got quality players, Saliba, Odegaard, Saka, I think are the main three there, Gabriel's looking fantastic, but in terms of that top-level world-class player, I think that's what we've been missing at the end of the day. Yeah, we have players who can get there, as I said, but other than that, striker for me, that sort of quality winner, ideally a Kudus for me. And yeah, I'd say those two positions for me, I think we're good to go, bro, if we do it in January. And I think we can finally beat Man City to this league title.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. The last thing, I know we've just hit an hour now, so thank you for your time.
Anytime, bro.
The last thing I did want to ask you, I'll put it on the screen. I'm gonna upload this as an actual video as well because I want to get your opinion on it. But I'll put it on the screen here. Here it is. So basically, what's being said is former Premier League chief scout Mick Brown tells Football Insider that Newcastle will be pushing for an agreement with Leroy Sané over a free transfer next summer. And then he goes on to say, given their financial situation as it has been, they'll be pushing to get this one over the line. I know clubs have been tracking him since he left Manchester City. I've heard that Newcastle are among those clubs who will be looking to bring him in. And I suggest I'd be surprised if they didn't at least try to get it done. Given his availability on a free, they'd be looking to basically get him. And obviously, with their finances. But what do you think for Arsenal as a whole? Because obviously you've got Bukayo Saka. You've got Martinelli, you've got these players, but he will be going on a free if we don't sign him. Now, before I get your opinion on that, I do feel like we're going to give him a new deal, which I think is a mistake. I don't like Leroy Sané whatsoever. He's on 20 million at the club. Obviously, a lot of people are like, bro, it's the people that put him on the wages, blah, blah, blah. I agree with that. But when you're on 20 million, there comes with certain things, right? Obviously, we're expecting you to turn up, which he doesn't do, right? But then when you're on that wage, you're not going to be sitting on the bench. If you're available, you'll be coming on the pitch, which then obviously takes time from and play time and everything from other players, which annoys me, right? But at the same time, what do you think? Like, would you like Arsenal to push for him if Bayern don't re-sign him?
Do you know what it is for me? I've always rated Sané, mainly because what I saw of him in the Premier League, of course, when he was at City. He spelled it. I know it was years ago, 2017 back then, but I know obviously he's gone to you guys, and obviously what you just said there, too inconsistent for you guys, man. When he's on it, ain't he? But when he ain't, which is majority of the time, as you're saying, it's like, what's the point? Really of having him there. So, looking at that on the free transfer, I wouldn't mind it personally. I mean, he's like, what, is he 20, 29, 28? I'm pretty sure. I think he's same age as Gnabry. So, he's around I think he's like 28, 29.
Yeah, he's 28, yeah.
28, yeah. So, I mean, on the free transfer, obviously, as I said, we're going to need more depth there, especially when we get rid of Sterling in the summer, when he goes back to Chelsea. I do like Sané. I really do. I do think he's a good player, man, and I'll take him on the free transfer. I think, look, he's not going to get over Saka if we're being real with it.
Yeah, of course.
I think you get competition there. The one I really wanted, and I remember I did a video right in the window just gone. I would have loved Kingsley Coman, man. Like Coman for me. I would have loved him, but obviously, I think you guys signed up on a new contract, didn't you? Oh no, I don't think new contract, but
No.
I think he signed. I think he stayed with you guys.
He stayed, yeah. He had a contract offer from Turkey, which he rejected straight away.
Yeah,
and then there was actually talks of him going to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah.
Which he was like, yeah, that's not happening. So, he stayed with us. I feel like he wants a European club. Arsenal could be one. It really, really could be. The only thing I would say with Coman and Sané is they're very inconsistent. And that's obviously the most annoying thing. Like at Bayern, I call them the Three Stooges. Serge Gnabry, Serge Gnabry's one of them, Coman's one of them, and Sané's one of them. They do turn up at times, but they turn up when they want to turn up. Which, when you've had players at your club like Iron, Robben, and Ribery that are turning up every week.
Of course.
There's levels,
Different.
So
the difference is mad, yeah.
Yeah,
but
go on.
Coman, for me, was one of them I would have loved in terms of getting that. I feel like the competition there he would have provided was for Saka as well. It's just brilliant. And at the end of the day, I think injuries as well is a big thing with him. You know, I think he has a consistent injury record which could let him down. But I look at him like the guy has won. Other than that last season, every single club he's been at, the guy has won. Yeah, every single season effectively. Apart from obviously that season, you guys didn't win anything last season. But the guy's a winner. He's gonna have that winning mentality, man. He's gonna have that experience of winning these big honors and these big trophies. And that's what for me I would love in terms of that competition for a Saka, because you know, I said this so many times before, like, you cannot rely on the Saka this season every single game, man. Like, we need games where we have to rotate the team around, right? And yeah, now we've got Sterling in there. Sterling, for me, was such a panic buy. Like, it was just such a panic signing towards the end, because it was like, nobody would have said, oh, guess sign Raheem Sterling at the summer window. You know, just because Arteta worked with him, oh, yeah, he'll be a perfect match for Arsenal. I mean, look, I'm willing to give the guy time. He's played 2 games. That's it. He's looked meh, you know, like he did at Chelsea. I'm willing to give the guy time this season. He's on loan. But I feel like someone like Sane, I've liked what I've seen of Sane in the Premier League before. You know,
he can play both wings as well, by the way.
He can play both sides. Exactly that. So you know,
it's not the fact of like, sorry to cut you off. It's not the fact of it's just the Saka. You know, Saka, he's on Saka's ass. Kind of sounds mad, pause. But like, he's coming for his spot, basically, is what I mean. You know, he could be coming for Martinelli's spot as well. So, like, both of those two would have to up their game, because if not, he would come in. And to be honest with you, like, I know that Newcastle can obviously give him a ridiculous amount of money because they've got Saudi backing them. But I think he would probably want to go to you guys over them. Hey, I don't know what the contract issue is going to be. He might even sign for Bayern Munich again, which I really hope he doesn't, because he won't be taking a pay cut. I know that for damn certain, because I wouldn't. I know that if you're on 20 million, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, here's 15 million. He's going to be like, I'm not taking a 5 million pay cut. Get out of here. So, but yeah.
It's like, listen, like, I think I do agree with you. Like, you know, it's you look to the summer, he's going to be on the free transfer. I kind of think it's a no-brainer for Arsenal to go there and snap it up, because, as you said, he's going to give that competition for both sides as well. And Martinelli, for me, he's improved the past 3 games, but he's not been cutting it like the level that we know he can be. Last season, he was very, very below par. Start of the season, he was very, very poor. And I mean, Trossard can play there, but he's so versatile. He's more like a clutch player. Trossard come off the bench, change the game around. But in terms of actual competition, we've not had that for Saka in years. Well, ever since Saka burst into the scene, it's been Reece Nelson there. Nelson, for me, he's a good player, but in terms of, say, like, I'll give you an example. If we've got a Champions League game, levels, exactly. If we've got a Champions League game, right, Saka's injured, say it's also Bayern Munich again. Nelson, you're on the right wing. Nah. You know, he's just not. It's not that type of player, man. Like, he's gone to Fulham. Nelson, he's doing well there. All the best to him, yeah. But in terms of like playing for Arsenal, Saka, something happens to Saka, you're gonna need someone there. Sane is a good name there to have. You know, if we ain't got Saka, Sane, I wouldn't mind it, bro. On a free as well, wouldn't mind it.
No, 100%. It's kind of like that Man City mold, isn't it? You know, when they used to have Mahrez, they used to have obviously Bernardo on the right wing, so they would have these cover spots. But no, I agree with you. We'll see what happens with Sane. I generally think he's got to sign a new deal, which I'm sure there'll be a video on the channel ranting. But hey ho, let's see what happens. But yeah, big up to you. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Big up, bro.
We obviously need to sort out details behind the scenes, people. But this is going to be a weekly show. Obviously, things might happen. You know, Josh might be busy. I might be busy, whatever. But we're going to do it in a certain way where it's 1 week on my channel and then 1 week on Josh's channel. So we're going to do it like that. So, you know, if you don't see it next week on my channel, it's probably on Josh's channel. But again, we will update you guys on that. We see what happens, obviously, schedules and all of that stuff. And life gets ahead of you. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
for real.
But yeah, if you haven't already, like I said, please do smash the thumbs up here and go over and hit the subscribe button to Josh. He's currently on, from what I can see on Social Blade, 340 subscribers. So come on, man, let's get him up to 10K, man. That's mad. 10K is a mad number, isn't it?
Appreciate that.
That's nuts. So yeah, make sure
you're close to 4K as well, aren't you, bro? You're like
very close. 70 away from 4K. Yeah, so very, very close. Which is cool, man. So
But
yeah, big up to you, bro. Thank you for coming on. And
no, thank you so much for having me, man. And obviously, like as you said, we're gonna do this like consistent basis, one on my channel, one on your channel. And yeah, as I said, it's a really good concept idea as well. It's good, man. Obviously, to like talk about both our clubs, to get to know both our clubs a bit more better.
Yeah,
to understand the leagues a bit more as well. Like I'm gonna understand a lot more Bundesliga when you talk about Bayern and all this. So yeah, no, thank you so much, man. And big up everyone who tuned in to your chat as always, man. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really enjoyed it tonight, man.
Yeah, no, 100. But yeah, people, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Have a great night. We will be back in a couple of hours because we need to talk about injury issues. But yeah, big up to Josh again. Go and check him out. Link is in the title. Click it, hit the subscribe button over there. Always live. So yeah, make sure to do that. And until then, mia sa mia. Peace out, people.